So we are back with episode 5 of Sneaky Archer Bosmer Skyrim Requiem. Maybe not a sneaky archer, maybe as somebody else said, this is more of a ranger. A ranger, I guess, is definitely an elfish archetype. Kind of a wood elf who's able to use archery skills along with a little bit of swordplay.
Climb and back and we'll be off.
This was kind of funny. I think that there was actually a couple of bandits that were headed my way. Wanted to see if I could get into the carriage before the bandits hit. So, yeah, from Riften to Falkreath and joining the Dark Brotherhood, which is always fun.
Ah, at last. I hope you found the place all right. Well, what happens now is you start your new life in the Dark Brotherhood. You're part of the family, after all. This, as you can see, is our sanctuary. You won't find a safer place in all of Skyrim.
So I got some massive armor upgrades here, and I just do a quick swap here. I gotta say, I was so excited here when I got this new armor. I think she looks fucking ridiculously badass. Like, obscenely fucking amazingly badass, right? That hood, though. I mean, the hood doesn't even have armor rating. I'm only wearing it because it looks fucking amazing.
Quite a bit about you.
Look at her, like, she looks amazing. She looks like a real assassin. I have a little bit of I got a bit of a graphical texture change there. I got rid of the red on the assassin outfit. I think the red and black's kind of silly. You don't want red as an assassin, really. You just want to be black. Sneak 60, that's pretty good for a sub 25 character. That's fairly good. I'm role playing quite nicely here. I'm keeping my role playing going. The metagaming, it's happening a little bit, but I'm not going crazy with the metagaming. And I'm sort of doing a little crafting, doing a little alchemy, doing a little bit of this and that, but I wouldn't say that I'm outright, trying to level all my skills. In an exploitative fashion. I don't think there's anything wrong with metagaming. I just, it's a matter of whether you want to put in the hours, right? I mean, I watched some videos today where if you're willing to put the time in, you can definitely grind your way up to some pretty high levels without training at a low level, but yeah, I mean, I think I just kind of like to play. I mean, that's grinding's hard work, right? It's like there's other games where you kind of have to grind, especially I did quite a bit of grinding, as they say, in Diablo 2 and Diablo 3, and it's where you do sort of the same thing repetitively in order to get what you want. Usually it's crafting materials or something like that, right? But I mean, obviously the payoff is outstanding. I actually learned today that just the vastness of my ignorance about crafting and blacksmithing is just ridiculous. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos today, and I'm learning quite a bit about it because I've never really paid attention to it, and I don't think that in vanilla it's all that important, but in Requiem, being able to temper all your weapons, you know, can boost your DPS to insane output. And it can obviously boost your armor rating to give evasion characters a critical amount of armor. So I think I definitely have continued my run of luck, because other than those 2 deaths that happened, 1 animation glitch, 1 legit death so far in my entire playthrough. I mean, compare that to my battle mage, who was just getting wrecked left, right, and center by everything, by every dog, cat, and fucking ghost across Skyrim. You compare that to this girl, and she's just... I didn't get this part on tape, and it just really sucks that I didn't, because this saber cat came out of nowhere, broke my bow, which, by the way, that's another reason I need blacksmithing badly, is because all my bows keep breaking and I need to craft a real one. I do end up buying an Orsimer bow later in this video, but at this point I still was only using wooden untempered bows that break easily. So that saber cat, not this one but the one that I killed, that saber cat ran up, knocked me down, had me bent over a table grabbing my ankles, and I just kept popping potions, and finally right as I stood up, because I kept getting ragdolled, right as I stood up I hit a potion of invisibility, and I think a potion of rigidity, and I was able to run away, and I finally was able to hit the to get my sword out and kill that saber cat. The thing is that I have my hotkeys set so that 1 is my bow, 2 is my crossbow, and then F1 is my grouped keys of shield plus that Troll Slayer one-handed weapon. And I kept hitting 1, thinking that I was pulling out my sword against the saber cat. And what I was actually doing was I kept trying to take my bow out, which of course got broken. And so, yeah, that's why I almost died, but amazingly didn't. I'm amazed. I actually am amazed that I haven't died. It's just like, usually me and Skyrim, we don't get along too nicely.
Ugh, can't a woman get a moment to herself? Leave me!
But Teal frankly didn't ever seem to go to sleep, so I just fucking killed her. I did try to snipe her right out in the open, and even though I was undetected, the guards all seemed to know. So I guess that's a game mechanic in the Dark Brotherhood questline. If you try to kill anyone with witnesses, even if you're undetected, they all know. So I had a little bit of fun basically slaughtering the entire town of Dawnstar. I literally killed everybody, every guard, and then I reloaded the game. And I didn't die. I didn't die there either. I was able to kill all the guards. It's always fun when you can kill the guards and you know your character's become fairly serious. So there is a boat to Windhelm, and that would have been faster, but I just thought I would ride my pony there. Of course, there's always, you know, snow saber cats and stuff to worry about up here. By the way, you who listen to every video, or you've listened to a bunch of videos, you probably hear some squeaking. That's my swivel chair at my desk. I put every kind of oil and lube on it, and it just doesn't, I don't know, it's just the way it is. It just won't stop squeaking. So I try not to move too much when I'm recording, but it is kind of squeaky. So I kind of posted a little link to the fact that Skyrim Special Edition dropped on Steam, I think yesterday, and I kind of posted that on the Skyrim Requiem subreddit. And I know that Requiem hasn't come, obviously, it you know, it hasn't come to the special edition, and it probably won't for a while, because the SE programmers have got to get all that shit sorted first. They got to port over the Skyrim script extender system, upon which just a fuckload of mods rely. They got to port that over before anybody can try the special edition. I'd be lying if I wasn't slightly curious about what, you know, SE will look like when we can get Requiem ported over, if that'll happen. But Fallout 4 does look pretty good without EMB, and so it'd be nice to think that you could play Skyrim without having to rely on an EMB. But I think that people who think that Skyrim's going to look, you know, 10 times better, you know, might be in for a bit of a shock, because we've had, what, 5 years to prepare for, you know, to work on all these graphical overhauls. So it's not going to look magically better overnight. I would say that modded 32-bit Skyrim is going to look significantly better than 64-bit for a very long time. I would say the biggest change, though, is the lighting. You can see that even in an EMB Skyrim, the lighting is just pretty awful. It's hard for people to watch on YouTube, because there just isn't, it just isn't illuminated properly. Anyway, one of the things that I guess I found out, or maybe remembered way too late, is that a really easy way to level up lockpicking in the early game, because that grind to 50 to get to the adept locks is just horrific. If you just go to every single town in Skyrim that you can get to via carriage system, if you can just go there and then try to pick every single lock, every novice and apprentice lock in every town and city that you visit in the early game, you can get to 50 really fast. Really fast. So just pick every lock you see.
I fear the night.
Even if you're a thief or not, I would say just do it, because the fact is that you end up, even if you're a very moral character, you end up doing quests where there's adept locks that you can't finish. So I'm just happy to learn that sort of technique, you know, go up to every single locked house during the day when they're out in the fields working or whatever the NPCs are doing. They always lock their houses. Just pick all those locks. Just go in the house. You don't even have to steal anything. Just go in, leave, and get the lockpicking level up. A lot of people lock their doors with expert locks too, so when you get that adept perk, you can go and pick all those locks. I mean, everybody knows, I think, that in the museum there in Markarth, the Markarth Dwemer Museum, you get about 20 levels of lockpicking by going and picking that wide variety of locks. Well, you know, the same principle applies if you go to, like, Falkreath or Whiterun or any of these towns where everybody locks their doors during the day and at night, but whenever the NPC's not home, you basically go and get all that free lockpicking experience. I mean, maybe that's just obvious to a whole ton of people, but yeah, I always sort of thought about lockpicking, chests and dungeons and things like that. I didn't really think about, exploiting that on player homes on NPC homes. Anyway, there's a bunch of bastards here. There's a ton of, it's not stair jumping, but it's like, there's triggered events that happen all throughout Skyrim. There's a bunch of triggered events outside Whiterun in particular. There's two that I can think of. One occurs at that outpost. It's that northern outpost by Whiterun where 2 or 3 bandits spawn, and usually the guards take care of them. And then just to the west of that, there's that little alcove, sort of underneath Dragon's Reach, but it's on the outside. There's a little alcove where there's bandits get triggered if you touch the chest there. And then there's another part close to Whiterun. I guess it's actually closer to Riverwood, but yeah, if you go into this little camp, it'll spawn the bandits. Once you know about these surprises, it's no big deal, because like in that instance, I knew that the necromancers were there. I almost got killed though, so I mean, it's still extremely dangerous. It's mostly dangerous for squishy characters like an evasion sneaky archer, obviously. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm that squishy, because obviously I've survived getting ragdolled by a saber cat, and I've done a ton of sword and shield combat now, but it's certainly not as durable as a heavy armor character. I mean, obviously the irony of saying that is how many times my heavy armor mage got owned in the last playthrough.
Mama, he's a half-decent farmer. Ask him to teach you to farm.
This is that rescuing Fiola quest. So of course I didn't kill that guy outright, because he had a clear line of sight and he saw me. Once again, this slow time perk on the bow is just so OP, because not only can you slow everything down and really think, but as you've slowed down the time, you can see the incoming projectiles, so you're less likely to get hit by these enemy archers.
Victory is yours. I submit.
And enemy archers are at this point one of the only sort of enemies among bandits that can kind of hurt me, because I'm too fast for most bandits that can run away too easily. I can still get hurt in close quarters if I'm sort of trapped. Like, take this bandit that's running across the bridge here. if that shot didn't put her down, I might have had a second shot. If not, she might have been able to get close enough to hurt me. That one might have got a shot in if she wasn't killed by that trap. This is always a kind of an ugly scenario because there's 4 bandits here, so that's 1 down. Here's the second one. Didn't pull out the sword early enough. Or the shield early enough. Now there's an archer. The one I said is kind of dangerous. And as you can see, he almost killed me outright. So that's 3 down, 1 more to go. And it's a 2-hander. So once again, the slow time perk, OP on saving my life there. Because if he landed there, that would have been a straightforward death. So Fiola here has a force greet there, and she got the jump on me because she has a force greet and was able to kind of like rush towards me in an unrealistic way. Probably took about 95% of my health there. I only had a sliver left. Destroyed my weapon, which obviously sucks, so I just needed to evade long enough to build up some health and just use my paralysis poison to put her down. And I just stripped her naked just because I was pretty pissed off about her taking almost all my health and my bow. Again, I lost my bow. And I took it off. I took it out on her idiot husband too. So anyway, I'm on my way to Iverstead to finish the 3rd and final contract for the Dark Brotherhood. There was a saber cat confrontation there that I cut out. You can see the troll instantly regenerates, so I thought I would give this Troll's Bane weapon a shot. I mean, it specifically says that weapon is designed to kill trolls, so. Sure enough. No false advertising. Anyway, I think I only have about 47 silver arrows. Certainly not enough to take on a Draugr barrow. So I didn't go very far here. course, you get the claw from the Villamere Inn, but she doesn't know that. Anyway, Narfi is the third contract, and another guy I tried to roleplay by waiting until a reasonable hour, which I think was about midnight or 1 a.m., which kind of sucks waiting all that time because you do kind of drain your beef stew and your bestial stew, which is super critical. And I just got sick. You know, I just get sick of waiting. I mean, you want to kill them in their sleep because that's arguably the most realistic and safest thing to do, but, you know, there's only so many hours in the day you can wait around for some jagoff to go the fuck to sleep at a reasonable hour. Of course, if somebody were trying to kill me like that, they'd have to wait that long too, because here it is 1 in the morning, right? I think it's a perfect example coming up of how lockpicking into houses at night is just absolutely perfect for leveling your lockpicking and leveling your character in general. It's just a novice lock, so no adjustment necessary. Lockpicking goes up, and I leveled up. I haven't done a lot of pickpocketing yet. I think I'm gonna get the pickpocketing training from that beggar in Windhelm, the female beggar, Sylphie or Sylph, something like that. Because I did get caught. I got caught in Windhelm. I had 10 into pickpocketing with the first perk, plus I was using the extra 10 points from the Thieves Guild boots, but I still got caught. And I was only trying to pickpocket like a septum just to see if I could get pickpocketing leveled up. They both woke up and attacked me, so I had to butcher them. It didn't get me a bounty because I butchered them in their home. It was basically like the blacksmith and I think the assistant. I think they sleep in the same bed, but it killed both of them. And I can't use blacksmithing services there in Windhelm anymore, I guess. But yeah, so I'm not going to risk that again. You're seeing vanilla UI here, a vanilla user interface here, because Sky UI is not compatible with the mod Prosperous Alchemist. The good thing is that Prosperous Alchemist, I just sort of learned about this mod the other day on the Skyrim Requiem subreddit. Somebody sort of recommended it, and I thought that it was incompatible with Sky UI 5, which it is, but I thought that meant it's incompatible, period. You can still use it though, and I think it's really helpful because I've been able to like get my alchemy up to like 50 or 60 there, just by doing the most expensive potions. Now you could say that that's metagaming, and even you could even argue that it's cheating. But I'll tell you what I've personally been doing is, even despite Salty Shanty's Requiem Alchemy Guide, which kind of tells you the best ingredients, you know, like mudcrab cheatin' and snowberries and blue mountain flower and blue butterfly wings, and you know, even though he goes through all the expensive things, nernroot, giant's toe, troll fat, even if you know all that, you know, if you're sort of a paranoid parrot kind of person where you want to make sure that you do everything right and you don't miss out on any really expensive potions, then if you're anything like me, you're going to go through and try all the possible combinations that you can. And so this just saves me, you know, the extra half hour to 45 minutes of going through all those combinations. So I came to Whiterun because Whiterun has a smelter and Riften doesn't. I got my smithing up to 33 now. Just doing a bunch of easy smithing, nothing serious. I don't know how to metagame smithing yet, and I didn't try. I made a couple things and I got some experience for it. One thing I was trying to do was trying to improve my Orsimer bow here, but for obvious reasons I couldn't, and I kind of realized, oh fuck, I don't have the perk to work with orcish weapons or anything. So smithing's a work in progress. It's my current project after having seen how OP you can get with smithing. It's now my personal project, and I know that I'm sort of late to the party on it because I'm one of my level 26 here, and my smithing's only 33, so
I do indeed.
I got a
You
lot
must
of work
go
to
the
do.
city of Markarth
I got a
and
ton of
speak
work
with
to
the
do to get
apothecary's
my
assistant. You'll
smithing
probably find her in the Hag's
up to
cubicle
snuff so that I
shops
can
over.
really
The girl's
pound
been
out
running
some
her mouth.
amazing
Wants
weapons
an
and
ex-lover
armor.
killed. She's apparently performed the Black Sacrament.
I mean, I really
Her name
never
is Muiri.
kind of
I
put
need
two
you
and
to
two
talk to
together.
her,
You know,
set up
that
the
if I
contract, and carry it out.
improved all my smithing, then I'd have a way better DPS output and way better survivability. I mean, it's obvious in retrospect, but I mean, smithing's just so kind of confusing and intimidating. I'm not really naturally good at min-maxing or BIS or metagame. I just sort of try to copy what other people are doing that's kind of successful for them. So Maruna's Razor, it would be way too early to go into Maruna's Dagon's shrine and try to take on invisible entities, but that's not necessary to get the Maruna's dagger. And I feel like the dagger's absolutely perfect for this character. I mean, I already have the Dawnbreaker quest activated. I could go get Dawnbreaker, but I feel like Maruna's Razor would absolutely replace this troll weapon. But you know, why not have both, right? Like, I don't intend to be a dual wielding Dawnbreaker, Maruna's Razor character like Salty Shanty's, you know, orcish heavy armor warrior. But I do think I could swap it out based on need. You know, use Maruna's Razor for, you know, sword and shield combat with enemies that are in range, and then if I'm fighting Draugr or Undead, I could use Dawnbreaker. So, and that's only if I get detected, right? As I get my sneak up and as I get all my skills getting better and better, and of course I finish that Thieves Guild quest line and I get the Nocturnal perk, then it's going to be a lot easier. So this is just a short episode. I got the first part of the Maruna's blade here. And there's a bunch of things I could pursue at this point. I could go after the Maruna's pieces. At this point, I think they'd all be pretty easy, except for the one at Hag's End. I could go and do that quest, Morning Never Comes, for the Dark Brotherhood. I don't know. I gotta figure it out. I gotta see what's going on. But it's been fun. It's been interesting so far. I haven't died. I've only died, you know, once, twice. So it's been pretty good. But obviously I got a long ways to go, and I'm leveling a little slower than I'd like. So anyway, look forward to your feedback. Thanks for watching.